We're dropping in raw dogs, boys and girls.
I guess we are. No countdown, no nothing, huh?
No, we're going right after it. Welcome to the
right,
Dog
man.
and Pony Show today, boys and girls.
Woo. All right. Welcome to another episode of the Tailgate Show. It's your boy B Diddy, joined by Air Jer. And Double A is an unexcused absence tonight. So
Seems to be a theme. It's all right. We rocking the championship belt, though.
you actually bought those, huh?
Business. Fuck
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
we did. We were ready, brother.
Where'd you find those, man? Where'd you find those?
Oh, damn it. I knew you were going to ask such a tough question like that. Undisputed. Undisputed.com.
Yeah.
They hooked us straight up, man.
How much those were?
My buddy got it. He's like, hey, he's got one, I got one. We're the tag team champs, baby.
And so you try to get through a metal detector at the stadium, right?
No, that ain't gonna happen. But we can use it as a weapon. So fuck it.
Well, we were gonna go Monday. There really wasn't much on the plate to talk about, man. But then as the week progressed, like my goodness, like so it started off with Nagy basically doubling down with Sylvie on Collinsworth podcast. Andy Dalton's a starter. Fields has no chance to break that. Now it's June, but what are you feeling on that, man?
Like I've said from the beginning, it's Andy Dalton's job to keep his job. It's Justin Fields' job to take his job. And it's Nick Foles' job to get traded and clear up cap space as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I was listening.
Coach wants him to take it. He ain't going to give it to him, nor should he. And he's not going to give anybody else any tidbits on that, you know.
I was listening to Collinsworth stuff and the presser on the way home, and I'm just like, you know, Sylvie kind of spoke for exactly how I felt. Where like Nagy's plan, right? That's what we kept hearing. He has a plan, but like as fans, do we trust that plan? Like everything he's done with the kicking competition, with Mitch, with Foles, it's not like he's really. I guess you could take credit for Mahomes if you really wanted to, but that was more Reed, in my opinion. So. I'm glad Nagy got his guy, has the opportunity to groom his guy. I guess we just have to trust the process at this point. But
it's wild to hear. It's wild to hear with the shit that he's having him do, like talking to the voice recorder and send it on his play calls and shit like that. I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah, he's been doing that since he was drafted.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that wild though? It's like they're critiquing on who he's talking to based on a recording. It's just like
right. At least we're not hearing the he's at 101 stuff like with Mitch. It's not like we're hearing we're not hearing a ton of crappy stuff about how he's throwing or how he's looking on the field. There's been interceptions, an interception in the red zone, and Justin touched on that today. But we're not hearing the same stuff as Mitch. Okay, he's learning how to call plays.
Right.
That's not a big deal. We've heard there were some issues with center exchanges. I guess a couple guys were talking about from being there, but I mean, you listen to the kid in his interview, man. It's like we got that dude. Like he's confident, he's humble,
and Andy Dalton's actually having a good OTA so far. It sounds like from all accounts, you know, the kid's doing what he should do. You know, he's
saw that nice pass to Goodwin. I mean, that looked really. I mean, granted, they're not in pads right now. It's just, but still,
the bullets aren't flying yet. The bullets aren't flying yet. But remember, we're not so far removed from Mitch Trubisky getting picked off and all that shit.
Yeah,
you know, all those stories that we were coming out. You know, so positivity being what it is, it's good to hear positivity coming from the offensive side.
Yeah, we want Dalton to play well if he's in there, but I still, I mean, it's June, man, and I really don't think that. I mean, Fields comes out here in training camp and balls out, and if he gives Nagy no other choice.
I don't think he wants him to do that, though. I think he wants him to sit and learn, and I'm positive of it, actually.
Well, there's a break. So July 27th, training camp starting. Fields basically said, I'm doing something football related every day. Otherwise, I'll feel lazy. So if that's studying or working out, this kid's going to come in training camp. Like you said, he doesn't make the same mistake twice. 99% chance he won't. he's taking this shit seriously, and
good. He should.
I mean, I expect to hear like some good shit out of him in training camp, preseason games. I think it's gonna be he's gonna push what Nagy believes his plan is. I really feel
good,
that.
and that's what he wants. That's exactly what Nagy wants. He's going to play the coach speak. That's what he's got to do. Guys got to be hungry for it. You can't just it's just not handed to you. Like Mitch kind of got. I mean, Mitch kind of got it handed to him after the giraffe idiot. Couldn't produce. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
yeah. It's tough too because we got this like waiting for this franchise quarterback so long as fans, and of course we want him out there. But I mean, ultimately, whatever's best for his maturation of becoming that dude, like I'm down for, man. So if that means a little time sitting, I mean, Louis Riddick was saying like he can basically guarantee Fields will be starting by week 4 or 5. And before he said that, he was like, I know Matt. And he goes, I can almost guarantee it's going to be week 4 or 5 for him to start.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I think from the reports that we've all heard, it's like they are. There's a lot of verbiage that he has to get under his belt. The ability to, he's not got the ability to audible out of plays just yet. That's something that Andy Dalton did and was accredited for during Nagy's presser.
Right.
I think that's something that's very major for this team. A quarterback that'll get you in the right plays. And Andy's got that right now, and Justin does not. Which, I mean, how could a kid, how could a kid just coming out of college, has a playbook, has no clue how his players are, it's just he's learning it, and he's going to learn it. It's just going to take time. And we as fans have to find patience, which is nearly impossible.
I mean, well, the one thing I will say is Nagy did go through Mitch, and that might be really good for having to develop Fields because hopefully Nagy learns from the mistakes that he made with Mitch. So, I mean, I just want this kid I can't wait to see him play, man. He's just going to be electric for us. But if we got to wait a couple weeks or half a season or whatever it is, it's going to be worth it. So, Olin Kreutz also was saying that like he won't be surprised if he hears reports of A-Rob working out with Justin in this gap we have here of a couple weeks before training camp.
Yeah, Allen actually spoke on it during his presser that he's been in contact with him not just as a player but as a mentor.
Yep.
And regardless of what we think about his social media experience the last few months, he's taking that leadership mentorship role with Justin. I think that bodes very well for him. I think it bodes very well for our team. He seems like a very level-headed guy. He had to dodge every question about his contract. I mean, he got asked it, 7 times? And he said, it's out of my control. It's not in my hands. That's a guy that's been around the league and knows. Now he's got a quarterback. He might have 2. Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, Pace is known to make a contract move right before the season starts. So I'm hoping they figure out how to extend him and free up some cap space, man, if they do it right. But A-Rod's that guy for us at our wide receiver 1. I mean, that's important, especially for a rookie developing. Like you need that go-to guy. But he'll be able to
receiver, and you need a tight end, and there's a tight end that seems to be showing up more and more in the news. Cole Kmet.
My boy Cole Kmet. Yeah, man. You're too.
Hail to old Notre Dame. I don't know the words and fuck them anyways.
Yeah, I am a homer. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, I hope he does ball out. They're still on that veteran presence of Jimmy Graham with him, and if
I like it,
I do too. I do like Jimmy. I was kind of like, it was cool that we got a little bit of the inside of the situation with the crash, but sometimes these reporters, man, like you haven't talked to him in since last season, and the first thing you're going to bring up, the car crash, or like, what's or did you get your COVID shot? It's like some of the questions they ask. Right. It's like, come on, there's better things to be talking about.
The COVID shot's a legit thing. Now,
it's nobody's business though if you decide to get it or not.
It's true. It's not. But you look at a situation like is going on with the Suns. I mean, their point guard's out because he has COVID. This is
Sure.
something that they have to deal with, and I think press has some right to ask it. Now they also have the right to be told to F off, and this is my personal beliefs, but I think it's a legit question.
I don't know. I don't think you should be bothering people about that because it's really none of our business what their decisions are medically, regardless of how we feel about it. You know what I mean? I just think it's a wasted question.
I tend to agree with that, but the question for me is legit because it directly affects this team. It could directly affect the performance on the field.
Right.
So it's a legit question.
Well, there's still, I mean, the only thing I will defend them about is there's still reports out there that it might only last 6 months and you need a booster in the fall. So who knows what their mindset is. They really never dove into it. Like I got mine in January. So
I got mine in December.
Hopefully we're all good for a year. You know what I mean? But there's still a lot of things to find out about it. But yeah, man. And Justin's interview too, like if this kid is like he's talking to defensive backs about, all right, what's your responsibility on this play? He wants to learn what they're doing. Like this kid is a student already. And I don't care if I'm hyping him up, man, because this is the first time they've drafted the quarterback I wanted. So I'm super hyped. I mean, we were on Justin Fields since what, January?
You were definitely on it. I honestly thought there was no chance in hell.
Oh, I didn't.
I thought there's no way. But anyway, we can rehash that story.
Up to the point of the draft, I'm like, they're gonna pick Mac Jones and kill me right here.
Yeah,
like I still didn't believe it would happen,
and then they showed Mac Jones is like, "Fuck you guys, don't you dare!"
Hey man,
and it's like they've pressed every button that we on our show have really wanted them to press. It's like, if we got the quarterback, oh well, we need to get a tackle. Oh, we got Tevin Jenkins.
Got the guy to protect him. Yeah, I mean,
he's been starting. Yeah,
he's rolling with the ones at left tackle. So like
that surprises me, but he's got to get those reps.
He does, and that's the one part of okay. I hate to put it this way, but I'm okay if like Jenkins needs to figure it out for a couple of weeks and let Andy be the crash test dummy.
That's legit.
I'm good with that. You know what I mean?
You don't want to lose
protect the franchise.
Don't lose your future before you have it.
I'm not saying you won't hold it down, but there's going to be a learning curve just stepping up into the big league. So
absolutely. I mean, you've got to listen. Now he's got to listen to Whitehair, who's making line calls, evidently, from what's being reported.
Yeah,
you know, so he's got to learn all that. He's got to learn line calls. He's got to learn how he plays alongside with Cody, how he plays in unison. Offensive line, man, so much of it is everybody working together. I mean, we talk about the team working together for a common goal, right? With the offensive line, if you fuck up, it shows instantly. If you're holding, guess what? Your number's getting called. If you whiff on a block, guess what? Your quarterback's getting killed. Your running back's
absolutely. And he's learning, and basically he's playing the opposite side of the line he did in college. He played a little bit of left tackle, but I don't know if he's left-handed dominant or not. We're gonna find out exactly how he is when pads get on.
There's our guy, Ira. Bear down loyal.
Yeah, it's a dog and pony show. We're actually gonna be doing this on Thursday nights. We're gonna be doing a little like just game preview. Me and Jer just kicking it. Talking what to expect from the opponent, what we see. So should be fun, man. So we're just kind of getting our practice in here without our host.
Yep. He's unexcused absence, so I guess we need to dive into that a little bit, don't we?
We do, man. So
it is not a foregone conclusion, but go ahead, Brian. Break the news.
I'm trying not to look in it too deeply until we get more information. But yeah, Eddie Goldman was a no-show, and it was unexcused, man. And that's when we're in 3-4. That's our dude. Like
it's enough of a problem that we signed a tackle today.
We did. So there's two thoughts to that, I guess. Like, is it that Eddie's ready to hang him up, or Eddie's not coming back, or is it that they're trying to put a little pressure on him to come back? I really don't know. I mean, I don't know what shape he's in. I don't know if he's just there's also the piece, man, like, not to get too deep into it, but COVID has affected everybody differently. it's caused some people anxiety, depression. Everybody's coping with this differently, and you have a guy that all he's known is football, and he decided to sit out, and the impact that could have had, it's got to be a little bit stressful knowing that you're not out there with your boys. You know what I mean? This is what these guys live for. So hopefully everything's all right with Eddie. Hopefully Nagy said is true.
I would tell you that my thought on it is maybe he's lost that fire. You have to have a certain amount of fire to play along your defensive line. You have to be a little bit deranged. You have to want it. You have to be an animal about it. You can't go out there half-assed because your legs are under attack. Your mind is under attack. Your head's under attack the whole time. I mean, Eddie's taking on two guys. He's getting the shit beat out of him. Now, how old is he? 26, 27?
He's 26. He's a mountain of a man. I actually he walked right by me at the 100-year man. That dude is a big dude. Big dude.
If you're mentally not there and your heart's not in it, you ain't gonna go out there and get your ass kicked for 40% of the plays or whatnot.
Right.
I mean, if I'm the dude got paid and he got an out with COVID, and now I just, we talk about London, and I'm going to bring this up from Ira. Yep. Sorry, Ira. Your point, did London ruin him? I wonder if it did.
I think
the new rules is not helping him either,
Gruden definitely found a way to get in his head with those low blocks. He kept them off. I mean, the guy was off the line for the rest of the season, but I don't know if that has any direct correlation to what's going on right now. I'm hoping he's back for training camp.
Man, and you feel like you're not the guy that you once were. It's a confidence game, man, especially with young guys, 26, 27, 24. If you don't have confidence in what you're putting out on the field, it can shake you, and it can keep you from doing the things. It can cripple you. I mean, it can just flat out, it can cripple you.
Well, this kid, Mike Pennell, they brought in that kid, but they brought him in, defensive tackle from KC. He played 30% of their defensive snaps, which was right around where Goldman was in 19 for us. Right. So if Eddie does come back, it's almost like maybe this is the motivation he needs to maybe, I don't know, get back in shape. I don't know where he's at. So it's kind of hard. Hopefully we hear a little bit more. But I hope he does come back because I love Eddie Goldman, man. The dude.
Absolutely.
He's very underrated, in my opinion, the importance that he brings to this team.
Absolutely. And you think about the game he had against the Rams in 18, where he pushes the pocket, gets the safety, and that just starts snowballing from there, and the Bears just roll. And it's just like, that was because of him.
Yeah.
That was because of his effort.
Well, he frees the linebackers up and lets them do their thing, man. You need that big boy in front. So
absolutely.
Hopefully it's all good with him. Maybe there's just stuff that he just didn't want to let out. They were kind of – Nagy seemed bothered by it in the presser, but we'll see, man. Yeah, hopefully I'm hoping he shows up.
I'm not holding my breath on that. I think he's done. There. I'll just say that. I think he's done for a while till he gets his head on right. But in good news,
yeah, like I said, it's just speculation at this point. Hopefully, we'll find out more about it. But I wish him all the best, and I hope he comes back soon, man. Because I really like Eddie. I mean, I haven't felt like we haven't had a player like this since Tommy Harris, probably in the middle up front.
No, absolutely not.
So,
but maybe Tua is that guy. I don't know. He's a big guy, but. We've had big guys up there before. We had monsters up there that we got from Pittsburgh last year, and he's kind of a kitty cat.
you like that guy? Yeah, he was sitting on the practice.
I do. He was big. He's like 6'7" and
he was a big dude, definitely.
The problem with being a big guy is you got a lot of pad height. You can't get all the way down. I don't care. You can't get low. And then what Eddie does is when he's on, he gets low and gets push. And
I mean, he's not elite like Snacks. Remember Snacks Harrison when the Detroit fans told us how elite he was?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he's super elite. What's he doing now?
No clue, man. But also, I guess Marquise Goodwin, they're saying is looking really, really good. So that's we need that receiver depth.
This is something you've preached about a long time. How can we get a true evaluation of our receiving core with a shitty quarterback situation? And I know there's a lot of Trubisky fans. We're Trubisky fans too. But you know, you can't really get a fair evaluation of your receivers if your quarterback's throwing it 5 yards short or 3 yards long or throwing it into double coverage or whatever. So now they're getting a true evaluation of it. And I think
Yeah.
that's motivating that room. That, from what it sounds like, that whole room's energized.
I mean, like, love it or hate it, Andy Dalton right now is a starter, right? You have Justin Fields QB2 and then Nick Foles QB3. This is probably the best quarterback room we've had in my lifetime, 1 through 3. Like,
And you got a Super Bowl MVP. You got a guy that's been to the playoffs a bunch and never won. And then you've got the prodigal son. I mean, everybody thinks
not really,
Justin's the guy.
not really the son that pissed people off and came back and got accepted. I mean, that's what that story is. But I get what you're saying.
He's that guy.
I want to address, like, Ramirez Diego, that comment he made about Matt. Yeah, there it is. So Matt Nagy, if he doesn't want to get fired, he should do the right thing. So I don't really. I mean, I've heard this on the national media, ESPN, NFL Network. They keep trying to push that Nagy's going to get fired this season. This wasn't a move to move up for Fields for a guy that's on the hot seat. He's got at least two seasons here. So like that whole, I mean, if anything, right, the job security would be putting Dalton in and holding back Fields because that's your security blanket, right? So like, we're developing him. The longer you hold back that
out,
yes,
the longer it gets to be drawn out.
As far as if it was strategic, you know what I mean? But
absolutely.
Yes, the development of Fields is going to dictate Nagy's future here, but I think he's going to have at least this season and next season to prove that.
Danny got in front of the microphone this week. That was an interesting. Said he felt as young as he did.
He was not messing with the reporters, dude.
No, he was not having any of that shit. He's like, "Come see me week 1. Come see me."
He told Hub. He said he was like, "Are you comfortable being older?" Blah blah blah. He's like, "Are you comfortable being a reporter?" He's like, "All right,
Danny, man, he's on it."
Yeah, and the interview is like, all right, why don't you guys get out of your cars?
Right. You gotta love that.
It was a little chippy, but he did say that he felt the swag, he felt the guys were like in the right place, moving fast. Like he really spoke on how Desai is the intelligence of Desai and how he thinks he's.
Him and Eddie both talked about Desai, and Eddie almost gave some info out. I thought.
He did.
Yeah. Talking about how the defensive scheme is more like, which we all kind of assumed it'd be more like Fangio and things of that nature. It's about more disguising and all that stuff, which, like you said, we already kind of figured that, but to have it like the player confirm it, that's something, you know?
Yeah, I just need him to die. And I think the presence of Patton is going to be helpful too, because he's going to be able to improve that pass rush. So I think having
we got a rat. We got a rat in the house. Hey, tweeting at me from the pod account about the stadium LMAO. Isn't he working? He is actually working. He is.
See, I told you guys he's an unexcused absence tonight, so he's going to be tweeting away when he should be on here with us. But
fire in the hole.
We'll address that Monday night. But yeah, we're gonna have Trubisky on later to discuss his let him shoot a shot on the stadium too. We'll talk about that later on. Dude, Robert Quinn, back issues already. It's frustrating.
It's an awful lot of money for somebody that's not produced.
Yep. I mean, we basically we could have kept Leonard Floyd.
Yes, we
which at the time, like on paper, I was like, okay, Quinn's an upgrade, but
we all thought that. We were all sold on his pass rush and his numbers from Dallas.
Yeah,
he double-digit sacks. What's there not to believe in there? And then he got here, and there's drop foot, there's back, there's what's next. He doesn't really fit a 3-4. He's more of a 4-3 guy. I agree. But
which we are in quite a bit, but still, Floyd.
The question is can you make it more unpredictable? Who the fourth guy is? I think with Pagano, that wasn't going to happen. He was very, when we brought a fourth, it was Buster Screen or somebody off the corner.
Which is weird
Somebody
because
small, yeah.
with his he came originally he came up with through the NFL with the Ravens, and they were all about the skies and stuff. So I really thought we'd see more of that with Pagano, but he just never really. I don't know if he wasn't getting through to the guys or what, but we definitely we spoke on it. I once Vic left,
Yeah.
I thought we were going to have a drop off.
Right.
And it takes a season or two for a new defensive coordinator to come in and fully get his thing going. So I'm hoping with the experience, Desai's been here since Trestman, so I'm hoping that.
It sounds like some of the guys are responding. A lot of the young guys heard a lot of good stuff from Kendall Vildor this week.
Yeah, he's really challenging.
He's playing. He's playing for that other corner spot.
And great, it's without pads, but yeah, they said he's looked really good.
That's good. And he breaking on the ball and stuff like that.
Yep.
That's
so there's gonna be competition with him, Burns and Dufont. Trufant. Sorry.
Yeah. Wow. Trufont's picture was.
I said Dufont.
Dufont. He's from Detroit. He's from that Dufont.
Yeah. So cold in the D.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, man. So I guess they're saying basically he looked good enough to compete for the starting spot across from Jalen Johnson. So we'll see, man. But yeah, I guess the Bears brought in Brandon Marshall earlier in the week, the linebacker, not the receiver.
No.
Yeah, he hasn't played in like 2 years. Veteran presence, I guess. I haven't heard anything since, but they also sometimes teams will bring people in just to get them a little
give them a little run. Well, I think depth is an issue. I mean, you got the Christian Jones, but after that,
I think is highly underrated signing because we needed that depth. I mean, that last year we were bringing guys in from the practice squad.
Right.
Manti Te'o got playing time.
Yeah, he did, and he played pretty well.
Yeah,
to be honest, he played well. So. Well deserved. More competition is a good thing, and they need more competition in that linebacker position.
Linebacker, corner, the defensive backs, the wide receiver competitions would be interesting come training camp because
Anthony better figure it out.
Yeah,
because they coming, and that kid from New England, he's coming. He's coming for that job.
Definitely, man. And we need to see. I mean, there's a lot of questions to still be answered. Like, yes, we got Fields, and that covered over a lot of imperfections, right? Because we're I'm really hyped about it. So it's a great distraction. But this is still the same cracked foundation with ownership, and this is still the same coach that everybody wanted gone, same GM everybody wanted gone. So. There's still a lot of questions on this team to be answered. Hopefully we start getting a little clarity on that come training camp. We need that defense to step up. We need a healthy Mac, a healthy Quinn. We need to be disruptive again.
Absolutely. So, and then there was some more big news, really big news.
What's that?
Out of Hallis Hall?
Yeah.
And somebody had some whack-ass tweets about it.
Oh, did he?
Oh, yeah. Some Bear Down Loyal had a whack-ass tweet.
You talking about
put them in a concrete carousel of death.
Oh,
They're
you're talking
gladiators.
Okay, so yeah, the Ted Phillips press release saying that they've put a bid in at Arlington Heights there, the dog track. Yeah,
I like it.
I get both sides of the argument, right? So for years,
columns make it look like Soldier Field with the columns have the in and outs of an Arrowhead Stadium where it's easy in, easy out, big parking lots right there by the stadium. Play turf, retractable roof. Modernized. Would you go with that if it had a Soldier Field look?
So I don't even know like what the stipulations are with copyright stuff with Soldier Field, and if the city's going to be assholes about the Bears leaving the
Oh,
city. You know what I mean? I don't know if they're going to be able to pull that off. Maybe I don't know, like structurally, if they're. I don't
well,
know what the deal is.
somebody had mentioned that they could possibly buy out the lease on that or something.
Yeah, I was talking about that with you in the chat. I mean, I'm sure there's ways out of the lease, right? Like the Hallis family's pretty connected politically. I don't think a mayor that's only been around for so long is going to be able to really. I'm sure they're very connected. I'm sure there's
They
been
are.
some. Yeah, we've heard
And
stories in the
you wonder how
past.
much,
So,
we've talked about the ownership too. Are the Hallises selling the Bears? Well, this doesn't appear like the Hallises are selling the Bears now, does it? If they're
if they get a stadium done, it actually increases the value of the
McCaffrey's,
franchise.
yes,
So, as far as a sales pitch, now we have our own stadium. Isn't a bad thing to add to the brochure.
no doubt.
Yeah,
Can
I
you
mean,
imagine, like,
even buying the property and then saying, "Hey, you can design the new stadium if you buy the team." That's very appealing.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
who knows where they're going with that? But I mean, I'm not opposed to them owning their own stadium allows them to do things their way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know about the easy in and out in Arlington Heights. I'm sure it's going to be kind of a pain in the ass in a suburb, but as far as the game day experience, you're going to be at the stadium, the parking lot that surrounds the stadium. It's gonna be a much better fan experience, I think.
I,
And
I,
Soldier Field is. I love the location. I love the location as far as the look
really
of it. Right?
Park
It's pretty
District,
unique, but it is a pain in the ass to get to on
yeah,
game
dude.
day. You know, and
And if you
I,
plan on tailgating, it's absolutely
it's far
not.
away.
It's not tailgate friendly. It's just not. And you
Right.
go to a place like the way they have, like, I keep bringing up Arrowhead because it's so accessible. Anybody can tailgate. You go in, you can tailgate. It's not a problem.
Right.
You know,
I've
big
told you about.
asphalt parking lots.
Yeah, I
You
told
don't
you
have to
about
worry about,
Buffalo.
right. And it's okay. Even in Minneapolis, you've got you've got parking lots there close by the stadium that you can get to fairly easily, and you can get out of fairly easily. It's just the way Soldier is. It's just tough for me. Especially, and you want to tailgate because I want to tailgate. I want to be there. I want to throw some meat on the grill. I want to bullshit with my boys,
Yeah.
crank the music up, and get ready to get crazy. You know?
Yeah, I mean, like Buffalo was a great tailgate scene, college atmosphere. I loved it up there because like they're very welcoming to opposing teams if you're not the Patriots. Um, and it was just cool, man, because you walk in, everything's just pretty easy. You get to go to the practice facility, try to kick field goals if you want. They open up the practice facility to everybody. So yeah, I mean the Bears, what the potential of what they could do up there, like if you go up to New England, they basically have this whole complex around the stadium with a Patriots Museum and stores and restaurants. Like the Bears could do that, you know what I mean, and own that, and it's limitless what they could do. And the whole thing, like, yes, we pride ourselves that we still play outdoors in Chicago Bear weather. What the fuck has that done for us?
Not a whole lot.
You know what I mean? So like I don't mind an 80,000 plus indoor stadium, climate controlled in the winter. You're gonna get more asses in the seats, and it's just gonna be a better fan experience. And I understand, like, we've been there. The Bears have been there since the 70s, so I get it. I get the history, but like the home field advantage thing, I don't know, man. It's
Me
you
either.
got we've been stuck in mediocrity
Let's
so
think.
long that I welcome the change.
Let's think about the Bears in general. In '85, we had turf then.
The
The
bad turf
surface,
though,
but
the
we were
con like
fat. What? But
turf on
what did the turf
concrete.
do? Yeah, the turf on concrete. But what did we have on that team? Speed. We had team speed everywhere.
Yeah, I've told you this before. Like it came to a point where I actually wrote the park district and said, "Can you please put field turf?" We were doing slip counts back then.
Right.
On it was
I
getting
hate
ridiculous.
that we have to rehash it, but I think it's worth the conversation that it's time. I mean, there was a time where the Gary, Indiana move, I wasn't even for that because it's like, you don't take them out of Chicago. You don't take them out of Chicagoland. You just don't. And Gary is not Chicagoland. Gary, you go buy crack and get shot. Sorry, people of Gary, but it's just the truth.
I wouldn't be able to speak on that. Jared, it could very well be that the Gary Indiana situation, like a lot of owners, Robert Kraft did it here. He used Hartford, Connecticut, basically as a bidding piece. So the state actually spent like $2 million in tax money. I was pissed to come up with a concept for the stadium, right? Just because the Kraft was trying to leverage Gillette Stadium, a brand new stadium up in Mass. So this happens, right? And the mayor of the city might be on to something there, because she did say they're just this is just for negotiation purposes.
Right.
There could be some truth to that, right? There might be some updates they want to do, and
Well,
they're having a hard time negotiating.
The mayor of Arlington Heights had a statement out. It's like, we're going to look at all bids and this and that. And it's like, if they sell it to the Bears, that would just be, to me, that's genius. And if Chicago finds a way to lose, if the city of Chicago finds a way to lose the Bears out of Soldier, it could be I won't say it could be a pretty damning blow to the city. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money that they're pumping in a Parks District. And let's be honest, it's half the shit in the Parks District and there because of the Bears. Without them,
No, definitely.
And
got some comments in the chat. What's good, man? And Bear Down also. And yeah, I do. I honestly, Nagy did say he would be back for training camp. So yeah, I do think Eddie will be back. But we'll see. Jared, yeah, you don't.
I don't. I think he's done. I think he's mentally and emotionally broken.
That's kind of, you really got that off of Nagy saying he didn't show up. Like
I really got that off of knowing the psyche of playing a defensive line position and getting your ass handed to you by two guys, and it takes a different person. It takes somebody who wants it. People that want it show up for it.
But that wasn't, so to say like he's trying to avoid that. That wasn't even by showing up, he was avoiding that this week. There wasn't full contact, man. this was like
true, but
this wasn't that week. Like,
you didn't want to put in the work that everybody else has. You had a guy very disgruntled in Allen Robinson with a contract situation. Show up.
Oh, sure. I'm not happy that he didn't show, but at the same time, like, if Nagy said he's showing up for training camp, just got to go by that for now until we find out what the hell's going on. So as far as I know, unless he's bullshitting us, then yeah, I think he'll show up. Now, is it going to be one of those like fridge situations where he's super overweight? We don't know what to expect, but I think he'll be there.
Tuba music. Boom, 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 boom.
Well, somebody said I hope he gets pushed back into going to camp, and I'm like, I hope he doesn't have to get flatbedded in. Like, you don't know. Like,
Nagy, man, I'm a fat guy. I get it.
Didn't Nagy say he was in good shape and everything though? Like, not too long ago, like he was keeping his shape, and so who knows?
Is that coach speak? Who knows? I mean, there's a lot of that goes on.
Definitely. Is Biscuit's coming on to give his warm-hearted. He's pretty upset about leaving Soldier Field, so wanted to have him on to discuss that. But
that's all right.
You can only lead a horse to water, right?
That's right. Funny, we don't have to talk about kicking game this year. Seems like that's been settled for a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of refreshing not to have to worry about that. That was a cluster. That kicking competition was garbage.
Yeah, and we don't even have the guy that won it. That's hilarious.
No, and the other thing is we did sign all our rookies, so that's good.
Yeah,
got that out of the way with the quickness.
I like that. I was going to think about, what do you think about? It seems like Artavis Pierce is on the outside looking in.
Oh, he says he's backstage, Jerry. You control the buttons tonight, so
I'm not seeing it. My internet's janky though too, so.
Good. Nothing like janky internet.
Sorry, I'm poor. Oh. I'm poor and I live in the middle of nowhere.
Now it's just Jerry, buddy.
Hey, there we go. How's it going, folks? But yeah, Let me see if I can pull you up here, man. Hold up.
And honestly, why you got like it sounds like you're at like the baloney pony brothel over there. It's like
Oh, I've got a loose air vent. Cock.
sure. Is that what the kids are calling it nowadays?
That's what we call it. That's what we call it.
So what were you asking?
Oh, there he is. There it is.
There we go. I don't know what the hell I did, man.
Hey, it's Protected Golden Age.
What's up, bro? Coming in with are those the
Bear
PlayStation
down
dude?
low.
Yeah, man. First, Jared's throwing shade over here, and then your comment, B. First off, where are your glasses at? I've never seen you.
All right, you want the shades?
Yeah, man. Let me get the shades for this.
All right, go for it.
Other screen. There we go. Yeah, man. Why are you slamming sacred December Bears football? Why are you doing that?
I'm not slamming it. What I'm saying is like bear weather. What has it done for us?
I mean, you don't think there is a certain element of teams traveling here? You know.
Sure.
I mean, what about that Rams game? Was that in Chicago or LA in 18?
It was in Chicago.
Okay. I mean, I definitely think that played an impact a little bit. Granted, it's not the thing that's going to put us over the edge, but in the last 20 years, I think only one team who plays in a dome full time has won the Super Bowl. So it's not a competitive disadvantage to play outside.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that, man. I'm just saying like I get it. It's Soldier Field. I love the stadium, right? But I just don't. It's not like it's a historic place. It's a museum of football by the lake. Like we have a lot of speed now. I wouldn't mind being on turf, man. They're not gonna. The city is just for some reason. If it's a team or the city, they're not going to field turf.
You don't think this is maybe a play? Negotiating.
It could be.
To say, hey, put a new
I think it is
here and renovate.
Yeah, I think it could be. But what are they going to do? Drop another UFO on it?
Well, no, of course not. You don't involve Ted Phillips in any of the conversations for starters. But I mean, like you said, it's the museum. I mean, I'm surprised. Three guys who are Chicago full-time residents. I figured you guys would probably be more on my side than anything. It seems like the people who live in downtown Chicago are the ones complaining the most. And I know my take is a meathead take for sure. I'm definitely in the minority. But for me, it's like, yeah, take the damn spaceship out of there, concrete bleacher the whole damn thing. And when I walk through that front door, I want the guy who takes my ticket to give me a big wad of fucking dirt and put it Soldier Field dirt and just put it in my hand. Just slap it in my
first of all,
and let me walk.
First of all, you don't get a ticket. You get a little app. And they have to scan an app. That's what it is. It's all mobile now.
Damn shame too. It should be paper tickets.
So you want concrete bleachers in freaking winter?
Concrete bleachers in winter, dude. I would be out there in 2 degrees in a Speedo with a beer funnel, having the time of my life.
It would probably feel good for you for all that punishing you put your colon through with it. Burn ass steak.
This guy. I ate steak again the other day. I thought about you guys.
I bet you did. So how's life in the Carolinas there, mister?
In the dirty Myrtle. Jared, when did you become the Myrtle Beach expert? You've been getting me.
I'm telling you, man. I know some people. I know what's up.
Y'all coming down here?
Man, I missed that work conference actually because of my kid. My kid has his 5th grade promotion into the middle school, so like I was gonna miss that. But yeah, I love it down there, man. Like I said, I'd love to retire in like Sunset Beach, about a half hour north of there. But yeah, I like it down there.
He'll sell you a house now.
Yeah.
Come on, B. I got you. He already committed to me. He said, "Yeah, if I ever do buy down there."
Oh yeah, definitely. I hit you up.
He's a good man.
Definitely, man. And I absolutely. Oh jeez, I definitely get. I do get the people that are on the side of don't move the stadium. I understand it, but like from this team owning their own facility and being able to control and better concessions and. I get the business side of it too. I want to be
for me when we were talking about the move. If it was to cross state lines to Indiana, I was not for it. I was not for them coming to Gary. I never was, and that's a fairly recent history.
Yeah.
Now you're not talking about moving them to Gary. You're talking about moving them an hour northeast or northwest of the
Closer to the
city,
practice facility.
closer
It's
to
like
their practice facility, potentially a better environment to actually see actual Bears history other than going to the Hall of Fame, because that's really the only other place you can get that as a fan. You know, it's
there's a
like,
ton of stuff they can do, man. I mean, like if you like around here, right? The MetLife Stadium's in Jersey, so that's where 2 New York teams play. And then everybody thinks if you're not from here, they always show like the Boston skyline when they're at Patriot games. It's not. It's like it's actually closer to Providence, Rhode Island. That's where the Patriots keep their plane, at Providence, Rhode Island. It's in Foxborough, Mass, which is probably like 40 minutes outside of the city. And what they did there, I mean, like the Bears could do this kind of stuff. Hallis Hall, they could still use it if they want. But what the Patriots did is their practice facility is right in the shadow of the stadium. So like you go to their training camp, I went to the joint practices when the Bears were there. Everything's all in one area. It's kind of dope, man. Like they could do all that and shopping plazas and Bears museums and all that stuff. Like it could be like Bear
did you ever
City,
go to
man.
any training camp, Biscuits?
No training camp. Old
Okay.
Soldier Field only.
Old Soldier Field. You have been to Old Soldier Field.
Oh yeah, just not New Soldier Field. I mean, from the economic standpoint, I totally get it. You know, from an owner standpoint, of course you want to own your own stadium, host all these other big events. But I just don't get from the fan perspective. Everybody coming at me on Twitter like, well, we could host the Final Four. It's like, hey, that has nothing to do with the Bears, so I don't personally care.
Okay.
From the owner standpoint, 100%, it makes total logical sense to get off that lakefront, own their own stadium. I heard the idea of someone, putting a casino there too, and then they can essentially just print money. Like I get all that. Just from the fan perspective, you can't tell me, hey, I really want the Bears to build a new stadium because they're going to make more money and host more events.
Oh no, but even the tailgate scene, it's all there.
There's a matter of convenience that would be. Like I said, I've been to a few. I've been to Nashville. I've been to Indy. I've been to Kansas City, Cincinnati. Chicago's is tough, man. It's a tough scene. I mean, if you're not in like South Lot or any of the garages there, it gets you're hoofing it.
Have you all been to Carolina Stadium?
No.
Okay. It's real spread out too. Like you have to tailgate, at least a mile or two away and kind of hoof it on foot, an hour before the game to get there.
It's crazy.
Buffalo, and I think B talked about that last episode too. They have a brilliant setup there in the middle of that town. It's easy to get in and out of. We were in and out of there within like 10 minutes, easy.
Yeah, it's
like
super easy.
If you like that look, you would love going to Nashville, by the way.
Really?
Nashville's very tall, and just the lot is right there. So like,
sounds like a robot there for a minute, Joe.
Yeah, you went 8 feet there for a minute.
Yeah, Nashville's cool anyway because you could party on Broadway and just walk across the bridge.
Yeah, y'all both been to Nashville?
Yeah.
Okay. I've been there several times.
I was there for a work conference, right? I'm sitting in the hotel watching the Packers Bears back when Hundley was starting against us.
Oh, nice.
Right? So like the Titans are playing the Bengals. I should have just went to that game, man, because the Packers ended up beating us. I'm sitting there,
was that the game Joe beat us? Chewing gum Joe? Yeah.
Yep. That's the one.
Have you all been to a dome stadium before?
I haven't been in a dome, though.
I've been inside. The RCA Dome was interesting. It was loud. Of course, they were piping sound in at the top. And I've been into the retractable one. The new Lucas Oil's fucking amazing. It is amazing.
I do hear good things about the stadium.
US Bank is amazing. US Bank's phenomenal.
I wanted to go to Vegas this year, but I'm not paying $700 for nosebleeds. So
yeah, I don't blame y'all there.
It's crazy.
I think let's get Vegas this year. I definitely think we're going up to Pittsburgh, but I went to the Georgia Dome, and it doesn't even feel like you're at a football game at that point. There's something about the open air stadium. Maybe I'm a dinosaur, but it felt like
St. Louis. When did you go to St. Louis by any chance? Transworld Dome?
No, I haven't gone to St. Louis.
Well, there are blind spots in that place all over it.
Yeah.
As far as like, I was not a fan of the TWA Dome.
I mean, I've been in the Sky Dome in Toronto. There wasn't I think it's the Rogers Dome, whatever the hell they call it now. It was kind of dope. There wasn't a game going on, but I just checked it out for a minute. It's kind of a cool vibe, feel to it, you know. But I don't mind an indoor stadium, man, because you're going to be able to increase that capacity probably like 20,000 seats.
Yeah,
even a retractable.
thing, right?
They could do a retractable dome. You get a warm weather team in here, open that shit up and make them freeze. I don't give a shit, but like.
That's the thing, though. I feel like if you have the retractable roof, anytime that it's snowing or it's cold, you know, frost, ice, chill, they're closing that damn roof.
Yeah.
They're not going to have it open. You know,
maybe not. You think about you could do a nice stadium like Paul Brown. Paul Brown's a very nice stadium in Cincinnati, and you've got good viewing angles. Even if you're in bad seats, you've got good angles to see the game at, and it's like you could do something like that, and it would still be much better than Soldier Field. And I'm sorry, but that's just the truth.
You really think they're going to do an outdoor stadium though if they get that property?
I would, if they get that property, I would highly doubt it because of for the wind alone.
yeah.
I don't know about the wind in Arlington Heights.
I
can't speak on that.
Talk about Windy City, but you know.
I mean, how is the traffic getting in and out of there? You know, as a non-local up there. I mean, is it easy to get in and out of that area?
Where Arlington?
I did hear some people complaining, saying that when the racetrack was there, even it's going to be pretty tough. But I mean, that's
change.
Anytime you put an NFL stadium anywhere, it's tough. So I'm sure they'll figure it out. Maybe put like a monorail, like a Disney from Chicago.
Well, like some of the people we're talking about, you can actually do that into Soldier, and it's not as bad. But then you're out the tailgating experience for yourself,
right?
You know, it's like you have to have people there that are tailgating, and then I'm not that guy. I'll be in Pittsburgh. I'll have my lot spot. I'll have my grill up. I'll have my music going. I'll have my beer cold, and I'll be ready to roll. That's just how I do it.
Jerry, I'm going to have to mail you my steak like 2 weeks in advance. Just throw it on the grill.
Right. It'll already get aged.
Yeah.
He's going
to... Brian.
What's that?
Did you get your ticket?
I haven't gotten it yet, man, because the prices are they're back up now. So we're trying to. I was gonna go with my buddies. One of my best friends, a huge Steelers fan. His two cousins live in Cleveland, so they're gonna come down. It's like a 2-hour drive for them. Nice. So for them, their perspective is it's like we can go to any Steeler game, but they're just going because I'm a Bears fan basically. So to them, it's like just another game on the schedule.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, let's wait it out because tickets have an expiration date, so closer to game time they go down. But we're definitely planning on going. I'm just waiting for the prices are high right now. So
yeah, nice.
I'm locked in, and I'm there.
Yeah, you've been locked in from day one, right?
Yeah, buddy.
Well, he paid for those upper level seats. I was seeing for like lower level.
That's fine. I give
Jared
no fucks
wanted
in
that
there.
peace of mind. Have it locked in. Know he was going. My
all I need to do is show up.
Weekend, so I'm gonna hit that in PA, and then just
Nice.
double up, drive up there Sunday for the game.
We should have just all waited together and just bought how many ever tickets we needed.
Could have done that too.
That would have been dope.
Okay. Wedding Crashers? I think so.
Celebrity raffle, Jared. We can raffle off your ticket to one lucky listener. Boom.
No, man,
poor big guy.
we doing Wedding Crashers. We going to your buddy's party.
Come on down, man. Come on, I'll send it out on official letterhead for you guys.
There you go.
Official release, press release, hot off the presses.
Will there be
medium
steak?
What do you think about the news, man? What do you think about the news on Eddie Goldman? Since we got you here,
what's funny is you said that Johns was taking questions. I haven't listened to the new pod yet, so I don't know if he even addressed it. Maybe y'all can tell me. But I had asked that thought yesterday or 2 days ago that is there any sense around his camp that he's thinking about hanging him up? And I agree with you 100%. I think once you take that year off and you kind of lose that hunger, that fire, especially for a young player, it would not surprise me at all if he walked away. I don't think he will.
I don't know how his contract is either.
Yeah, I mean, he'd have to pay back a portion of that signing bonus. I think I saw today, pretty decent chunk of it. I don't know if Danny T's comments on that, make us feel any better. I don't think it makes me feel any better.
No, I agree. It's all kind of a mess.
Yeah, I'm hoping he comes back. Like I've said, man, maybe the signing today of Pennell was just like a trying to get him motivated to get back. I don't know, but I like Eddie, so I'm hoping he's all right mentally too. Like I said, COVID's hit everybody different, and this dude sat out and watched his boys play without him. Hopefully everything's it's awkward, man. It's something's off. Like when
the silence, and he's obviously not in game shape too, so he has to get in the preseason, and I think at least play a little bit more than what he normally would, get his feet back under him.
Yeah,
I agree, and that's not going to be conducive with the way the CBA is and all that shit. He's going to struggle.
He is, man. It's tough. When I heard it, I was just like, it just seemed off. Something's not right. So we're all speculating right now. Hopefully we get a little more clarity on it. I'm hoping he's back for training camp and it's all systems go.
Who slides back into his spot hypothetically? Who's day one at that point?
I would think this guy Mike Pennell, they signed from the Chiefs.
You don't think Bilal Nichols can slide in a little bit, a little bit undersized, obviously, but
I think Hicks could probably take it over better than Bilal.
Jenkins still on the team?
What's that?
Jenkins still on the team? John Jenkins?
Jenkins, I don't believe so.
No, I don't think so.
Either. It might be. You might have to go to the rookie.
I don't think the rookie's gonna. I don't think he's a start over the guy they just signed from the KC. I think that would be the guy you plug in. But like I said, I mean, the 3-4, Eddie was in 30% of the snaps. So we're going to be in 4-3-2. 3-4 is just the base. So
Jenkins went to the Dolphins, by the way.
Yeah, he went back. He was in Miami before he came here again.
Yeah, thanks a lot for that.
What about that? Who was that one guy last year? Big guy.
McCullers.
Oh, from the Steelers.
McCullers.
Yeah,
McCullers. He go back too.
I think we still got him, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. He might be on our. He might
That's
be on.
That's a whole Google search that I'm not prepared for. With
you all need a stats guy. That's what y'all need.
There we go. Yeah, he's a big guy. I mean, he was on the Steelers practice squad for like 4 seasons.
Like hey, if you're listening, we need a McCullers update. Hey, I know he's listening at the restaurant.
Yeah, he's hiding, man. Like I said,
he
was an unexcused absence, so we're gonna have to deal with that behind the scenes. But
unexcused?
No, it's completely excused. Quit giving him shit. He's a working man trying to provide for his family.
I hear you, man.
He wasn't on today. I was really prepared to defend my corn pops take to him too. He was ripping me good on Twitter.
What is up with corn pops, bro?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What's up with corn pops?
I'm gonna ask you about it. What's up with that?
The top 3 cereal of all time, man. Easy.
You guys still eating cereal?
Man, you hear what I eat. Of course, I have to eat cereal if I want to. Come on, man. That's like a food group for me.
You just gotta get that fiber in there somehow.
Yeah.
Come on. Absolutely.
Nice. My kids eat cereal. I just don't anymore, man. I haven't in years.
See the backhand. My kids eat. It's my 6-year-old taste buds. Oh well.
All right, it is what it is, man.
Inner child.
What about Eddie Jackson? Y'all talked about Eddie Jackson lately?
I mean, the number change is still weird.
Yeah, he's happy about his number.
He's a little too happy about that number, right? I mean,
he's been in this like primetime Dion vibe for like the last, but it with that came softness. So like I hope he steps his game up, man, because it needed to be more physical. He was making business decisions like all last season.
Yeah.
I'm just glad he's off a boat and doesn't look like my grandma's couch. The motherfucker dressed like my grandma's couch.
Yeah, that was pretty ugly. I did see that. I did.
I was like, oh, that's terrible. So if it gets him going, man, good. I don't care, but I think he had his guy. I thought maybe Pagano would unlock some shit with him, and he really didn't. I mean, he had a couple of opportunities that were taken away, I think, but still, he's also missed several tackles that a safety should make. And he actually brought up a good point. This will be the first year since Adrian Amos that he's had his running mate with him back-to-back years with Deshaun Gibson. Yeah. Which is very interesting. We talk about that. We talked about that with why we didn't want to lose Amos. We wanted to keep continuity back there. And now he's got that for his second year, so he's kind of got an idea more of the guy he's playing with on the other side. So that might make a difference.
Life also wasn't easy for our defensive backs with the lack of pressure.
Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely.
We need to get back to that.
And with Eddie being gone,
does he go back and play Eddie as more of his true role, which I think Pagano lost a lot of that too. The thing is, with Gibson, I thought he brought pretty damn good value last year. I was actually pretty pleased with him.
I agree.
I like him a lot.
But is he the true in the box safety that Eddie would really benefit from having?
Probably not as physical as Amos.
Though. He did. I just think Eddie needs to get back more of that natural role that he was playing more the first 2 years and let that swag take over from there.
I wasn't happy when we didn't lock up Amos. So I like the combination of the guy that was the enforcer and the guy that was the ball hawk.
Well, they made a decision knowing that they were going to pay Eddie here pretty soon.
Right.
Like, I get why they let Amos go for that kind of money. I get that. Plus, you had just given Kyle his money to prevent him from leaving from Green Bay. I get why they didn't. In hindsight, though, it's like, man, take out some of these couple bad contracts like a Robert Quinn, and we could be still paying for Amos and probably seeing better protection on that side.
But having said that, with Fuller gone, like Eddie's going to have to step up the leadership role, step up the performance, because you're going to have these guys back when if they're in zone or whatever and their guys off of them, Eddie needs to be there and ready. So hopefully he has a big season, man.
Need him to.
But, yeah,
I think Jerry makes a good point though. If the pressure up front too, or I'm sorry, B, I think it was your point. Get that pressure back up front. The whole back secondary is going to look a lot better.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, don't get Danny Trevathan beat 3 yards into an 8-yard route.
Granted, it was in shorts, man, but Danny did look like he had a little of his pep in his step back.
Yeah, I agree.
It's always hard to tell because you just don't know how beat up guys are. You just don't.
Danny was he was pretty slow early in the season. He started
He might have been injured. He might have been. Your confidence is just such a motherfucker for these guys. I mean, it just is.
Confidence. Danny, I wouldn't question confidence. I just think something wasn't right with him.
Yeah, something's not right.
They were abusing him over the middle all year long. Maybe a little bit's a confidence thing, but he definitely looked like he lost a step for sure.
Yeah,
just wasn't making the decision to follow the crosser soon enough, to adjust for his lack of speed. But
right.
I'm a big Danny T guy. I really hope he bounces back strong. I think.
Me too, man.
I like Danny. I've always liked Danny.
Too, with depth. What's his name? Pull his name for me.
Who's that?
Christian Jones?
Christian Jones. Yeah.
Bostic. God, another former Bears linebacker.
Right, yeah.
Still in the league, and that just shocks me.
Yeah, I think the Christian Jones signing's very underrated because that veteran presence, solid player. We need the depth because we were looking at like guys like Woods last year, and Teo and his invisible girlfriend played for a little bit. So
yeah, it tells you how much confidence they had in Iggy and Josh Woods that they brought Teo in off his couch to play. And when's Iggy get to do something? I keep seeing him tweeting like, "Don't doubt me, don't count me out. This is it." And it's like, dude,
it's it, all right. It's it, all right. You're about to be in the unemployment line.
I mean, I wasn't expecting anything huge from him outside of special teams, but it's like, man, you're doing a lot of chirping and not a lot of producing.
Well,
Who's that, Woods?
He was a speed guy.
Iggy.
Oh, Iggy. Okay, Woods was
He
talking.
was a speed guy out of Western Kentucky, right? He was out of Western Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe so.
But he was a fast guy. That was the idea, that he would provide speed. But there was also that whole will he mentally get it kind of deal that was surrounded him. It's like, obviously not. You can be fast,
the ball coming out for sure.
Yeah, and he doesn't shed blocks all that well, so dude's got problems.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see how a lot of these second-year players are going to step up too, like Gibson. Like I'm hoping he starts bringing a little depth for the edge rush, and Jalen Johnson's going to be our number one cornerback, and hopefully we start seeing guys that are able to follow their guy, because I love Kyle Fuller, but he always stayed on his side. Like to have that, they were just moving guys around on us other teams because they knew Fuller wasn't going to follow. Like Adams was just going into like the slot and right.
Let's be honest, we need all these corners to play well, because Jalen Johnson got hurt last year. That seems to be a thing for him. I mean, granted, it's just you gotta have guys on deck.
That's the truth on too. He has an injury history, so we got two guys. I mean, where very quickly we could be looking at Vildor on the outside. Maybe I don't think Duke Shelley's playing outside. He would definitely be a slot guy. But I mean, those two guys really the health. I think really
Artie Burns,
a lot of the defensive. Artie Burns, yeah, but he was hurt last year too, wasn't he? We're like collecting the hurt corner club.
So I don't know how the contracts work out, and I don't know if this is doable. But if they can get out of Eddie's contract, I don't know what's going on with him. But then you could sign A-Rod to an extension, and then bring in Gilmore, and then we're good.
Oh, Gilmore coming off of what, the ACL? I'd be interested in that.
Another one.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be interested in that for sure.
Just get all the legs.
I think what was the rumors where the Patriots wanted a second round pick for him. I think that would kind of screw us and put us in the third round next year. But
I mean, shit, we've been doing that for 7 years now into Ryan Pace. What the hell's one more? That's a gamble,
right?
Why not?
Right.
But this is the 1 year I actually agreed with him trading the capital. Get the quarterback and then get two guys. Tevin and Barome to block. It's like finally one time he trades up, he does it right.
Oh yeah,
we were talking about that earlier. I think as Bears fans, we've been surprised at how many things that we got as Bears fans from ownership and from the general manager. This is a different. Has a different feel.
Ha-ha in our face moments with that, with Ted and all them. I mean, we were ready to burn everything to the ground. I would have burned the colonnades my damn self.
that end of the year press conference. My God, we were hot.
I've never seen Bears Twitter like that ever, but it was completely justified. And now we're sitting here like, you were on it from day one. Fields. I think I felt the same way as Jer. Like, there's so many things that have to go right for this to happen. It's just not gonna fucking happen.
It's not the way the Bears.
Trust me, I didn't believe it till they announced it. You know what I mean? I was just like, they're gonna fuck this up. They're gonna do something to piss me off.
He kept falling.
Like, Panthers are going to look back to regret that, I think, more than any other team in that draft.
God, I hope so.
Broncos maybe too.
Yeah, good point. Well, no, AR's going there. They're not regretting nothing.
I'm for it.
Wish it. Will it into existence. My brother.
Because he don't give a fuck.
Been the best couple months of my life.
But if that happens, I mean, honestly, like, fuck it, put Fields in. Stop this plan. Because, like, you get him...
No.
Get him to take his lumps this year, and then next year we're taking shit over.
God, I hope
I
so.
see it from both ways. The last pod that I missed, you could B like really sold me on the idea of, I believe your rant was, let him get out there, let him take his lumps now. Even if AR does come back, let him take his lumps now. That way, when he is gone next year, for sure, Justin Fields is ready. All the kinks are out, all that bull crap's out. Year 2, let's go. I'm kind of sold on that now, but
I'd love to see it. What's that?
I said I'll still root for Dalton.
Oh, sure. Like people are,
Absolutely.
man. I throw a little shade here. People are like, the people that I noticed that were like hardcore Mitch supporters are like, well, is everybody being mean to Andy? We're joking around, man. Of course, like whoever's at quarterback, we want to see him do well. It's just we just want to see our new shiny quarterback out there and doing his thing. Like
100%.
I'm excited, man. Like this is finally. I've said it several times. This is the guy I wanted, and they never usually do that.
What happens when Dalton plays poorly? Say they win.
Oh,
How fast does Nagy pull that trigger?
On Twitter or reality, Jared?
No, I'm talking about fans in the stands booing.
The first bad pass, Jer. First
Oh
one.
Man, it's going to be brutal.
All you're going to see in the stands is ones on everybody.
What was that, B?
You're going to see a bunch of ones in the stands anyway.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I don't feel bad for Andy Dalton. He's a professional. He's getting paid $10 million. He knows the deal. We communicated.
Job to keep him on the bench.
Other team did, but no, it's going to be unfair for him. That first bad pass, first pick. Yeah, he's going to hear it bad, and I'm there for it.
I'm there for it.
I'm going to boo my ass off.
Riddick was on one of the shows on I think ESPN, and he was basically saying like he goes, I don't see this lasting longer than 4 to 5 games.
So you said Matt Nagy was on the show, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Okay, you following me? Yeah.
He said that he made that statement before he said it. He's like, I know Matt, and then he goes, I don't see. He goes, I can almost guarantee it's going to be 4 or 5 games before Fields is out there. So
he also tried to sell you on Mac Jones too. Just remember that.
I think he did that for Nagy to set his boy up with Fields.
It didn't. I guess it worked in some ways, but whatever.
Does Matt have like naked pictures of Lewis's wife, and that's why he's like
they were together in Philly, right? They were together in Philadelphia, I believe.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Remember that one night in Philly? Where you got really drunk?
I'll tell you though that
pictures.
Nagy seems to have a way with the people that he works with or knows. Like they're pretty faithful to him. Like even Day in Ohio State. Like he has an impact on the people that he I was gonna say comes across, but I didn't want to go there.
Oh, you got it right.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think he's genuinely a very likable guy. I mean, he's very personable. He has that sales realtor background. So you learn to talk to people different ways. I think his interpersonal skills are great until he gets in front of reporters. And then it's word salad time. But I think he's a good guy. I think a lot of people like him. But I think he has a lot to prove this year, obviously.
He does.
Quarterback-wise, scheme-wise. Outside of the quarterback, there were scheme issues, in this system over the last 2 years that, I mean, he really does. He has a lot to prove.
I mean, right now, all the blame in his eyes, the blame goes to the quarterback, right? He didn't have the quarterback to run the scheme that he wanted to run, so he had to dumb it down, and he had to abbreviate things with screens and jet sweeps and shit like that,
When we got Dalton, I even though I wasn't really excited about it, he is an upgrade to what we had. So Nagy, I mean, there's no more excuses. Like you probably have the best quarterback you've had since you've been here in Dalton, which isn't saying much. And then you have your future in Fields. So these are his guys now. It's all on him. See what he does, man. I think Dalton would be a good placeholder. I feel much more comfortable with Dalton than I hated the Glennon signing when they brought Glennon in. And Mitch. I never liked Glennon. I thought he was a bum, but.
This is night and day between those two. I agree.
Right. And you got to let your foot. I mean, Pace was pretty involved back then. He was kind of secretive of what he was doing with bringing Trubisky in, and you have to get to a point as an organization if you want to be successful to let the coach have a little more say than the GM. You handle the freaking business side of shit. Let me handle my team, and it seems like it's going in that direction. So I need to give him the benefit of the doubt and see what he can do, man. I'm not gonna, I like Nagy. I hope it works out.
If ever he had his chance with his guys and the guy that he wanted, it's now.
2
Yeah.
years too. I mean, I do agree with B as well. I think he is safe the next 2 years. I think Andy Dalton's actually going to surprise some people. I think he's going to look halfway decent, honestly.
I think he will too.
Yeah.
Before we got Fields, man, I agree. I was watching some Andy cut ups and seeing what he does, and he'll fit into Nagy's scheme pretty good. I mean, he's not the mobile guy that Nagy likes, but as far as just a headsy veteran, yeah, you can make some stuff happen. You can win with him. You just don't always win because of him.
Correct.
Like we said early, Andy's ahead because he has the ability to audible and knows the playbook better. It's just that simple. He knows the verbiage. He's played. Andy's going to be ahead until Justin learns that.
Yep.
Until until Nagy has a comfort level with him, I think that's the first hurdle where he's got to be able to call the play, and then if he sees something, have the ability to audible out successfully. And when he does that and he sees that consistently, I think you're going to see maybe the comments change out of Nagy. You'll see that, well, Justin has really picked it up, and it's Andy's job to keep him on the bench. It's Justin's job to take his job.
Sure, and I also think there's still something to letting Jenkins get solidified at left tackle, and if he does make a couple mistakes, let Dalton get blasted instead of Fields.
Well, and to settle him into one position and let him grow. Like, I feel like that was an issue for James Daniels. Keep flip-flopping him between guard and center,
Cody Whitehair.
Yeah, exactly. Start them at one
Kyle
position.
Long.
Go through that growing pain. That way they don't start him off at right tackle, then flip him to left. I never liked that idea.
No, not even for a right tackle?
No. I mean, if you see him as the left tackle of the future, why not? Why not throw him out there and see what he has? Now, if it's Jamarcus Webb train wreck, okay, maybe slide him back over to the right if you don't think he can work it out. But yeah, I'm a big proponent. Put him at one position, start him there, see what happens, see what you have. That's something that this staff has done quite a bit.
I think if you're going to do it, you've got to do it that way.
Oh, sure. But I also think Nagy's not letting us in on the fact that there's also going to be a rookie left tackle. When you have that, it's not just about where Justin's at; it's about protecting him too. And let's give him a couple games at left tackle to get him more comfortable before you bring out the future.
100%.
And then he also gets the benefit of talking to a first round pick that was picked at left tackle, and now is playing right tackle for us in Jermaine Ifedi. He's seen when it goes bad. He can draw from that. That's a good resource.
I think we get sucked into that vacuum of, yes, all these veteran guys are really helping these young guys along, but that's kind of what the coaches are here to do. And Juan Castillo is really the guy that we're depending on more than anybody. Who's supposed to be this great guru of offensive line.
To an extent.
I don't know, man. I think it's slightly overrated when we start talking about, he's grooming him. It's like, what's Jimmy Graham going to do for Cole Kmet as far as when it comes to blocking? What the hell is he going to teach him?
Well,
nothing. Take snaps away. I'm still, obviously he's back. Clearly, you guys.
I'm for it
forever, but
he's a big man.
Yeah, but I mean, I just don't think. I think like that touchdown production in the red zone is sort of like the defensive turnovers. It's really hard to keep duplicating that year after year. I mean, what the 2 years prior to us, I think he had 5 touchdowns total in 2 years in Green Bay.
They didn't even use him enough in the red zone. Really, I mean,
they really didn't. But then, like, you can see a guy like Bob Tonyan who goes off.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the red zone is definitely. I just wish it was more affordable. I wish they would have restructured him. But I guess the conversation was, pay me or I'm retiring.
Right. And it's also about, I guess, winning a Super Bowl, according to, was it Nagy, I think, said in midweek. Right. Jimmy wants to win a Super Bowl. That's why he's back. I'm like, when are we putting Justin in there?
You think you could see a movement from Horsted? Evidently, he's kind of flashed a little bit in camp. There are no TAs. Was it Horsted? It was Horsted, right?
I think would be good.
Good old Jesper.
I was a Horsted guy. Yeah.
He had some flashes, man. He scored some touchdowns in the preseason, and
Dalton's going to definitely rely on tight ends more than Mitch did. Pause.
No pause necessary. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, and
So
shit on Mitch too. Like last year, there were so many drives that stalled on third because of an errant throw by him. Not to shit on him, but those are
No
the
shit
types
on him.
Andy's going to make to keep those drives alive. So maybe it's not resulting in touchdowns, but at least getting in field goal position, putting more points on the board. I think
Right.
Andy is I think he's going to hit those throws that Mitch could never make.
I agree.
when Darnell Mooney beats his man, I think he's going to be able to hit him. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even that 10-yard out that Mitch struggled with too. That's a throw that I know Andy can make.
Screen passes. I don't really want to. Yeah. It's
Swing passes. Anyway, all right. Enough shit. This is not
Enough Mitch talk.
That's enough Mitch talk, and that's Mitch talk.
Do you guys got anything else, or you think we're?
I think it's pretty much a wrap. I don't know. You got anything else?
You guys killed it tonight, man. Good show.
Thanks, man. We're kind of getting our practice in for a Thursday night in season stuff. So anytime you want to join us, man, break down the upcoming opponent.
Appreciate
join in.
As always.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely, man. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for jumping on, man. I always like to hear your takes, except for on the steak.
Stadium. I don't think there's a single take we agree with yet, but
is what it is, man. It's all love.
Hey, appreciate y'all.
Yeah, same here, man. I'll let you guys. I'll let you guys know when I get those tickets too. I'm just trying to figure out the pricing right now.
So Jet, you're sitting top side.
Oh yeah, I might. They might ask me to change a light bulb.
You guys sit in the parking lot watching the game?
Right. Well, if I'm cooking your steak, I will be.
Oh, man, I have to drive.
Hey, man, you better get there on Saturday. Set up the lot and start grilling mine.
Put it on the engine block on the way.
We're driving in about 8.5 hours. So, like, if I'm doing that, I need to have decent seats. So that's what I'm waiting on.
I don't blame you.
All right, boys. Well, that's just another episode of The Tailgate Show, Dog and Pony Edition.
The Bears.
The Bears.
The Biscuits.
The Biscuits.
Save the colonnades at all costs.
Fuck them colonnades.
If they move to Arlington, they better move those fucking colonnades over to Arlington, or I will riot. I literally will. That means more to me than anything. Fucking colonnades. Save them.